Good day, everyone!
Hello!
And welcome back to the Corner of Remnant!
Yeah!
Woo! Second last one!
Crazy, huh?
That's great.
This volume has just gone through so quickly.
I know! I can't believe it! And so close to RTX Sydney too.
Yeah. And then with Chibi as well, it's all just...
Chibi! And...
I might be the only person in the world that's just happy when like, we get to the summer of animation.
Yeah.
And there's just no RWBY and can just, as an artist who draws RWBY, can just relax.
Well, I was planning to do some RWBY shorts and things in between Volume 5 and
Oh,
Chibi.
yeah, like, I'll probably start working back on AMVs and doing more shorts and stuff. People seem to really like the World of Remnant,
that was awesome.
one I did.
Oh, I should put a link to
so
that in the description.
Looking into doing more of those, but I really liked, just glad Arnold didn't upload. He uploaded the Die, not
Die, yeah, that was hilarious.
Dust Infusion, which I expected him to do. Hey, Kristen, good to hear.
Kristen, hello and welcome. Hello, everyone. He's in the chat.
We're Australian, we're not great with names.
No, I stuff up names.
Sorry, explain that. Did you see Katie's tweets about people giving her crap for her accent recently?
I did see that, actually.
Can't believe that. That's so... Because, yeah, like, I met her at RTX, and she's the most loveliest person you, like, ever.
She seems lovely.
Also,
I haven't met her in person.
When Beck found out that, she was so jealous.
Oh, was she?
When Beck found out that I had met Katie. Because, like, she could have there, because she was, like, just there, so...
Yeah.
She must have just missed her. But,
no.
yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the chat. Any new people here, thanks to Larissa's recent... I was going to say, what's the opposite of a sub-purge? It just
went crazy. And,
yeah. So if Larissa sounds like she's crying on the inside, she is in a good way, but she's had this cry to her voice for the past like 2 days. Every time I hear her, I sound like she's crying.
I can't.
You do. You have this like lost for words to your voice.
I don't know what to say. It's like in my video, like I don't know what to say. I'm just blown away.
It is very
so.
very overwhelming. You know, with YouTube and Twitch recently has all been really good for you. So it's so happy.
Yeah.
To see the success.
Yes.
Because as someone who is on this channel, the more success you have, the more success I get. Kind of.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to get more success out of your channel, me or Chris? I guess Chris, because it is your guys' channel, but also I'm here
Chris
as well.
is like not really
Chris is just Chris.
Chris is just there. He's like not in hardly any.
Yeah, Hunt. We are very well aware. Haven's Fate, 25 minutes, a shorter one, but considering how long this volume has been as a whole, it makes complete sense that this is going to be a shorter. And to be fair, what other show do you know has a finale longer than its rest of this? Most shows don't have that, so it's not an issue. It's still the longest episode of the volume, regardless. It's just not as long as Volume 3:12 or Volume 4:12.
Yeah, it's
but to be fair, Volume 4:12 had a 5-minute outro song. To be fair.
Yeah, that song does. Yeah.
But then again, I guess. But then Volume 3 did have 2 outro songs. Actually, I wonder which credit sequence was longer. I actually don't know.
I'm not sure. It did actually, but they're both about. I think one's about 2 minutes, one's 3 minutes long.
Yeah, Cold is about 3 minutes long, and I think what was the other? Divide. I don't know. Yeah, I guess Volume 3 probably was longer credit sequence. I didn't even think.
Yeah,
about
actually, I think Divide might be close to 3 minutes long.
Yeah, as well.
Not sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hunter C makes Luke videos. You tell us.
Oh, thanks, Kirsten. I love the community. It's so amazing.
Oh no, like the sheer fact that people are here and that the numbers have been going so well. It's just a clear showing of how supportive this community is. As long as you avoid the negative of Reddit.
I don't go on Reddit. That's probably a good thing.
I think people are nice to people in the community. Yeah. Because when you have an opinion, that's when apparently community gets a little.
Right. It's safe so far.
but again, YouTube is typically a much nicer space. For YouTube, Amino, and Twitter tend to be the best places for the RWBY community in my experience as someone who's been across the whole thing. And DeviantArt as well for my personal experience. But this is Corner of Remnant 13.
Yes. So let's chat about chapter 13.
Chapter 13 of RWBY. Yeah, Downfall. Yeah. I knew that title going into this episode, and so many things fall through my head. The simplest explanation just, for some reason, evaded me. Downfall. Yeah. That was the most obvious title in the world, and for some reason, once it happened, I was like, Downfall.
Yeah.
Because for some reason I kept relating it to Raven. I kept relating it to Cinder, but never just the actual idea of downfall.
Yeah.
I just expected, like, you know, someone's going to get hurt or someone's going to fall. Not the fall is going to go down. It's maddening sometimes. But that is two titles in a row that are a bit more literal. I guess Downfall is a bit more obscure, but Vault of the Spring Maiden, and even more the merrier.
Yes.
You know, so we've had some very literal titles.
Yeah, well, the Vault of the Spring Maiden was a very big sort of, like, spoiler for what was going to happen in that episode.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's not really a spoiler. You knew... I don't know.
Yeah. But, yeah. And, yeah, Haven's fate is a little scary. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, because, I mean, after Beacon, you kind of want to assume that, and considering where this is going, you kind of want to assume the good guys will win this one.
Something bad's just going to happen.
But I think Arnold mentioned it, and I kept thinking it to myself as well. Given the current situation, how are the bad guys going to get out of this? How is Adam going to escape? How is Hazel going to escape? You know, Raven, sure, she can teleport. That's not an issue. How is Cinder going to escape? Well,
yeah, well,
I mean, that's the thing. Since we kind of talked about Downfall, I guess we'll go in reverse maybe.
Yeah, well, we can. Yeah, we can talk about the Raven Cinder fight, which I've watched like so many times and listened to that song. Well, amazing.
Before we get into that, I was just curious. Do you think Cinder is gone? Do you think this was the final?
She's back. She's like a dang cockroach. That's what I said in my reaction.
Do you think she'll be back this episode?
Maybe. I think she may pop back up.
The one thing that I was thinking this earlier, but that's actually not true. RWBY typically doesn't like to do long-term storytelling in terms of... They like planting seeds. They love doing that. And they love doing long-term storytelling. But they don't like doing long-term story actions. Like, because of how short the series are, like, you know... In some other series, Weiss would be hurt for episodes, you know. But I guess given her injury, that wouldn't make sense. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's like you wonder, you know, how long is Cinder going to be gone for? And I'd like this to be the level of, have her be gone, just disappear for a volume or two. And have her come back, just like out of nowhere. You know. Or
like
will she just... Well, that's the thing too, with this episode, I'm almost getting the feeling that next volume might be a really, really low-key volume.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, we might just get a lot of subplots next volume, and that's it. Like, you know, everyone will just be in Haven for the rest of the... Like, in Volume 6, imagine that everyone was in Haven still, all the villains are gone, you just had all these subplots fleshed out. Neo can return, because you want to get these characters back in a position out of the main plot. So you can address these kind of things. Because if Neo just came back in this big... You know, she'd feel just lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, it would.
And that's something that I really appreciate Miles and Carrie mentioned for Rewind. Yes, Neptune is alive. Yes, there are all these characters out there that are alive and we want to have them, but we're not just going to shoehorn them into the show if they don't actually have a purpose.
Yeah, they've got to have a purpose to be.
And it's like,
that makes sense, yeah.
As much as that was a gut punch, I actually really respect that. Because yes, Neptune could be in the show, as long as Sage and Scarlet, but they'd just be what Juniper were in Volume 1, but even worse. They'd just be 3 characters who happen to be in the room. That'd be it. And it's like, well, I guess if your logic is you want them to be back, but a meaningful way, then that I'm happy for them not to be in the show.
Yeah.
And again, it's always my idea of just wait to see what happens. You know, if by the end of the series they never show up again, then by all means get pissed.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping they do. And again, with this longer pre-production, this volume going into Volume 6, maybe they'll think of some more ideas and stuff. Especially if Volume 6 is going to be a post-Haven, still in Mistral, low-key, let's just have a lot of cool stuff happen this volume. Let's have a break. Let's have... Because it will literally be the halfway point of the series.
Yeah.
Well, depending, if the volumes keep getting longer, then it'll probably be much closer to the end of the series. But if this is the halfway point, then this would be a good point to let's have a non-Salem, non-big plot. And a lot of people might get annoyed at that, because I think a lot of people think the plot is slow enough as it is.
Yeah.
But I find it love just a Volume 6, where it's just we go back to Atlas and see what's happening there, maybe get some stuff with Penny, maybe get Neo, get Neptune, Sage and Scarlet, maybe go back to have some Stark flashbacks and have some Veil flashbacks to
so much
Tink
that could still cover.
after. You know, I think it'd be cool to have a volume where it's just a bunch of red versus blue style. Let's jump to this story. Let's jump to this story. Let's jump to this story. Like Volume 4, but not have a continuous long story that keeps getting split up. Let's just have this episode will have a Stark flashback. This one will have a Vale flashback to Team Coffee after the fall of Beacon. We'll have Neo showing back up. Then we'll have more Ren and Nora stuff. We'll have maybe some John and Weiss stuff, or maybe some Weiss and RWBY stuff, Blake and Yang stuff, etc.
Yeah.
Sorry, off topic. Wait, on the show. My point is, I get off topic, but not the Achievement Hunter version. Anyway. So yeah, I don't think Cinder's dead. I would like the fact for her to be gone at least until next volume. I don't want her to show back up. I mean, she does.
She may, but
she may.
I just had the thought that if she did pop up, she'll attack Raven or something, and I could really see like the Spring Maiden power going to Yang because she's there. I could just picture that happening. Whether or not it does.
What if the Volume 5 ending, like the post-credit scene, is just someone with the 4 Maiden power. Someone who just gained... I don't know who that'd be. If it could be Neo, could be
it's true,
Salem,
because if
could be Emerald, could just be someone random. Yeah. Joke 3 is Ilya Neo. That's actually one of the things... if you actually think about it, Ilya is basically just what is Emerald and Neo in one character.
Yeah.
It's Emerald's redemption arc, and everything that was called about Neo, you put it together and you create Ilya.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that was the purpose, because they knew Ilya. It's like, we want to introduce this character called Ilya, and we're probably not going to have the time to do stuff with Emerald like we wanted to.
Yeah.
But that's not the point too. If Cinder is presumed dead, will this be the point where Emerald and Mercury, maybe at least Emerald, is like, well, if Cinder's not here, then I will be a good guy.
Yeah.
So I don't care about Salem. And Mercury's like, I'm not going to go back to Salem by myself without Cinder there. I'm not, you know. So.
But if Cinder dies, the Maiden power could go to anyone up there, possibly as well.
Could go to anyone. Could go to anyone.
Yeah.
Even
could just go to. She's thinking of RWBY.
Yeah, could just go to RWBY just because, you know, out of a spite. But yes, like again, her mask breaks. We see the Zuko-esque scar.
Yes.
Proves that she doesn't have the missing eye. She does have the eye still there.
Yeah.
Just closed, damaged.
Yes.
She has the Zuko scar, and then she gets frozen. And again, it was one of those things where we didn't hear a shatter, and we didn't see a shatter.
No, she just fell.
I definitely think she still definitely has the idea to come back. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Salem's failure, if we might finally get a Tyrion scene or a Watts scene this episode. If Watts going back, that's the thing too. By the time Watts gets back to Salem, presumably it'd already be days after the attack, so he would have no idea that it has failed. Presumably.
Yeah, presumably.
You know, but we do. We had like the Raven Freezer, etc. That was awesome. We had Yang coming down to confront her.
And the relic, it looked like
I didn't really get a good look at the relic, but I like the fact that
see it.
I like the idea that it was literally, we want this to be hidden so much, let's hide it in another dimension. Like, let's hide it in another realm that can only be accessed through. Like, that's such a cool idea, because not like, you know, which also explains why Salem hasn't got the relic yet, because I was always thinking, even if it's in some sort of vault, you can probably just dig or blow your way into it. But if it's literally a gateway to a different dimension, then literally you have to have the 4 main power. But then that question is, have they found the door? Is it maybe not a door? Maybe is it not in a different dimension? In the Mistral of a dimension, that just could be Mistral's thing. It could be Haven's thing.
It could be.
It could just be a physical item in a vault. Because again, you'd presume that and by the way, the vault that Cinder was referring to was the vault from Beacon.
Yes.
But that was their vault. Some people still don't get that.
I was a bit confused at first when I first heard it, but when I rewatched the episode, I'm like, oh, I get what's meant now.
It's definitely grander than Beacon's. Well, yeah, because presumably the vault was probably where Amber was. But since Ozpin has probably taken the relic elsewhere, that was put up there instead. Choice of relic. Biggest movement. I mean, possibly. I don't know. Again, we really have no idea. It could be in Summer's grave. It could be in the old cottage that might be in Vale somewhere. Could be on the moon. Could be still in his cage, just being a dickhead about it. It could be some sort of spiritual thing. Could be RWBY. Could be the relic. Like, you know, like we have no idea, and that's what I like about it. I initially thought too it was the Menagerie Desert, but even then, like that would make little sense.
I don't know. Yeah, and it looked to me like it was a bit hard. It was like a
pyramid or something. Like it was a little triangle? I don't know. I haven't watched the episode.
It looked like a blue liquid in it, and it was like.
I thought I saw something on top of it that could have been a chess piece.
It was like an orb with like a pointy top and a pointy bottom, almost like an hourglass, but not quite.
Like a diamond, like a double emerald, like a diamond. Yeah, like a kite.
Like that, but it was more like circular in the middle, and with the pointy top and bottom, and it was filled with like half blue liquid.
I saw someone. It was an image on Facebook or something where it was the Mistral insignia, and it was basically like it was like a teacup or something. It was like the object in which the thing was designed off.
Okay.
It was like a Asian inspired kettle or something. It was like a really mosaic looking, fancy looking candle, or I had no idea what it was. It was like a teacup or a kettle or something.
Yeah.
And it and just like above there where it says art on the layout, it was this symbol designed to that. I don't know, like someone had the idea of maybe the relics are something to do with the symbols, like maybe Vacchio's is a sword, maybe Vale's is an axe, maybe Alice's is a paintbrush.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, that's actually really cool, because again, insignia is such a big part of the show, but they've always been, especially since Volume 3, they've been a bit less significant in the development and concept of the show. But it'd be cool that the drawback, because the symbols were always a bit of the kingdom especially, always be like, why are these symbols? Plot twist is why is a relic.
It's why. Not enough is why.
Yeah, like an infinite dust crystal. That'd be a oh god. Anime, yeah, like maybe there's some sort of infinite dust crystals, possibly. But I think they'll be able to do a lot more than that. There'll be like something insanely potential. But then we have the fight.
Yes, the fight was so epic, and I loved all the. It was like, it reminded me of, I didn't say my reaction, but it reminded me of, because I've been watching Fate's Day Night anime, which is amazing, and the Unlimited Blade Works, because Cinder kept regenerating her blades while Raven kept pulling out more blades, and it reminded me of that.
the one thing I'll say, and this is not even a criticism, actually, because it was so bad to me, I liked it, and not the fight itself, the swords, the big motherfucking dust weapons. It was such an anime moment that for RWBY, I hated it, but because it was such an anime moment, it was like, you know what? I have to let this go because it's just that much of an anime moment.
It was
such an anime thing. It's like I hate it, but because it's such a thing, I can't not dislike it.
Yeah, it was just so amazing.
It's one of the things too where it was something about dust weaponry is such an OC thing to me. It's such like a original character element to me. Like you look at Mark Zhang's his first character trailer, you know, his OC was a dust weapon wielder. And I guess Cinder's weapons were always that, but it was always glass. It was a bit different to me. So when she summons a fire and rock sword and she summons an ice and lightning sword, it was just like a bit much. But because it was so anime, I did love it. That's a katana.
Raul's just giving me an idea for a RWBY short. I'm going to note this down just before I forget.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good. I'll keep going.
No, that's a katana.
That's a katana. It was definitely very much katanas. One thing I did notice in this fight, for that split second, it was so surreal to me to see Raven in a position of weakness when she got grabbed by Cinder's arm.
Yeah.
Like, that was just such a shock. Wow, Raven's actually not immortal. Like, you know, Raven's always been positioned as this most strongest character, like, in the show in terms of just her potential. So when she actually gets grabbed by the arm and she's actually in a position of weakness, it's like, that's the first time ever seeing Raven in any position where she's looked weak. Yes. You know, and that's her big thing. Like, you know, she's values strength even in herself. So the first time we see her weak, it was such a jarring thing to me, but I loved it. And it does prove that the Grim Arm can absorb power.
Yeah. Which is interesting why Cinder didn't clue on earlier that Vanille wasn't the Spring Maiden when it was attacking her for quite a few seconds there and there was no power coming to her. Why didn't she clue on then?
That's an interesting point. I think she more wanted to just kill her, I think, to get all of it.
It's probably the first time she's used the arm too. So
yeah, but also you got to remember too, the last time she did drain the power, she only got half of it, and it probably is a lot longer process to drain the power than it is to take it. Like again, like she probably did get some of Raven's, but it was just, you know, such a minimal amount, it didn't really make a difference in the fight. But because again, like the amount of time it might have taken to get all that power could have been It just made more sense to kill her, kind of thing. Or even though maybe she was kind of draining it, but it's just, it just wasn't working for a while.
I was really hoping at that moment Yang would come down and interrupt him, but no, that didn't happen.
Well, no, because then she would have been obliterated to a million pieces. Probably.
Yes, not a good moment.
Yeah. But yeah, the fight was awesome. The one thing I always say with the newer fights is just slow it down. That's all I ask.
It was very fast.
Slow it down and pull the camera out a little bit.
Yeah, it was very fast and close up.
From a choreography, so I have issues cinematography-wise and pace and bit of speed, but no, 100%. This is the best fight since Tyrion Crow.
Oh, it's just so epic, and it just.
I probably liked Tyrion Crow more because I like the more grounded, realistic kind of fights. But this was so epic that it just, was fucking, it really was just amazing. Yeah, I love the fact that Raven, this also showed that Raven does have different dust elements for a sword, like just the red one. Again, like you said, Cinder constantly just respawning weaponry was awesome. Again, it did a lot of things we hadn't seen before with Raven's swords, Cinder's weaponries, potential of maidens, etc., etc. And it was just done really, really well. And I knew going in after watching volume episode 11 and 12, I'm like, there's something missing animation-wise. There must be building to something. They must have put their time into something else, and clearly this was it.
Yeah, this would have taken forever to animate. Jeez. And it went for quite a long time, though.
Perfect, but even then, I could go back and say the same thing about some of Monty's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things where, and this is the thing I think I said last week or the week before, these newer fights have so much more personality to them, I feel. Monty's were awesome and sick of awesome, but these ones just seem to represent their characters. The new choreography just seems to be a bit more based on the characters.
Well, one thing I liked with Cinder, for example, when she was jumping around, like, very animalistic-like.
Yeah.
Like, she was on all fours at one point, and how she'd landed, she was like this, right? And, like, it was just... it was really hard to explain, but very different from previously in her fighting.
Yeah, no, it was something very different, because, again, it was very, it wasn't a grounded fight. This is the first time we got, like, a non-kind of grounded fight. Yeah. It's currently 1:30 for me in the afternoon.
We're in Australia. Yeah.
Corner of Remnant, down under, Corner of Remnant, Menagerie, Australia. I'm so creative.
It was all your idea.
That didn't take, 3 weeks to actually theory up. I'm pretty sure it took longer than that. Yeah, anime is not too far from us, actually.
Yes.
So, nice. I keep looking at the wrong screen. I gotta put my in frame. The fight was. There's not even too much to say about it. The whole thing, like, the song was really cool.
Yeah, the song was really cool. It has Cinder's tune through it too, so I really think it's a Cinder song. Yeah, it did. If you listen to the music.
People kept saying it was also apparently it was a remix of I Burn as well. Apparently there was I Burn elements to it as well, because it's meant to be kind of like Raven's theme to Cinder, so it's kind of meant to be like Yang's theme, like instrumental wise, but changed to be more like Raven, but it's meant to like mimic Yang's. But then I don't know. This is a song we'll have to wait till the full one because it was a very short segment of the song.
Yeah.
First fight song we got this episode, it's probably too much to ask for another one next episode.
We'll probably get one in the end credits, but I don't think we'll get one.
No, but I think we only got Bad Luck Charm as a fight. Oh no, we got more like Morning for Last Night as well. It's a shame they only got one fight song this volume.
Yeah.
But then again, I wouldn't have wanted one of the Yang Bandit fight. And there really weren't that many fights this volume as well.
That's true. Yeah, I would have liked more songs, but I guess they've just been busy with everything else. Probably haven't had a chance.
Well, no, that's not true. Technically, we did get Life Is Mine. I'll put my hand. I'll say we did get Life Is Mine in a fight scene. Technically.
Yeah. It's first.
And it was the other half of Life Is Mine, which we didn't hear.
The rock side of it. Yeah.
Technically, you know what? Fine. It was 2 for 2. 2 in volume 4, 2 in volume 5. So you know what? Technically, that's okay.
Yeah, and we might get, like, we got Home at the end of volume 4.
I'm not saying we'll get more songs. I'm just saying in terms of fight songs, because we got fights this volume, but we only got like 1 or 2 now fight songs.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
We'll never know.
So then we had the Vernal, like that was such a moment where it was like,
Vernal.
like, again, I always will stick up for Raven. I feel like all the things she said, although I think are justified, at least in her own way.
Yeah.
And she clearly cares for Vanal.
Yeah, well, you hit Raven's like, Vanal! So, like, from the
yeah,
heart.
And even then, like, it's the thank you, Vanal.
Yeah.
It sucks that maybe that wasn't shown more, but at the same time, I really imagine they don't want to overdo it, because they do want to keep Raven's darkness, so they don't want to overdo do that. But then we go back and we do get, I think we'll talk about, I know we're jumping around, guys.
We're jumping around a little bit.
Someone mentioned Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's the big thing. I actually loved what we saw, and there's a reason why. A lot of people didn't. I know that.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Here's the thing. We have never seen Adam fight outside of Blake. Therefore, we have no way to kind of tell really how good he is.
Yeah.
Now, this does get thrown in the bit, because apparently Aaron has said on Twitter in the past that Blake is no match for Adam, and Adam would easily kill her.
Yeah.
In a one-on-one fight. So that does throw this out of the window. But also, no offense, Miles and Kerry are the only ones who really know what they're talking about, more or less. No offense to Aaron or any of the one else.
They're the ones
Miles
writing
and Kerry,
the show.
Yeah. But the only time, so we saw Adam obviously fight with Blake on the Blake trailer.
Yes.
The only other time we've seen him fight is Blake was extremely distraught, and Adam was 100% confident. What happened this episode? It was the complete opposite.
It was, yeah.
Adam was the one who was extremely distraught.
Yeah.
And Blake is one who was unconfident. That's why this wasn't as nerfed.
Yeah.
Or wasn't as bad as people could say it was, because it was the complete opposite of the situation. Yes. In a 100% confident thing, yes, Adam would probably kill Blake.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Adam probably wouldn't be able to, Blake wouldn't be able to fight. But it was such a role reversal that it worked for me. And of course, Adam just got knocked down. Like, he didn't get killed, he didn't get, like, he's not done.
Yeah.
He's got knocked out, he got back up and said, fuck it, kill them. Because he was the one who was distraught this time, where Blake was last time.
Yeah.
That's why Blake was beaten so easily in Volume 3, and now Adam is so easily in Volume... And it was, again, it wasn't beaten. There could still be a Blake and Adam fight this episode.
I totally expect there will be.
Yeah. Which is kind of like, weird pacing when Blake goes up to the team, then goes back out to fight Adam. That would be a bit weird kind of pacing-wise, but we'll see we'll see what they end up doing.
See how that goes.
Yeah, we've got the Volume 4 intro with the Adam and Blake in the desert and the Shadow Clone Dodge thing. Yeah, I don't think it was that bad, guys. At least I think if we do get a fight in the future where it's evenly matched, I think this will be a bit more... Again, like, that's the thing. People will say that me trying to justify this is the reason why the writing in the show isn't great. But to me, it's like, I don't know, I got to think more, guys. Rather than just accepting the first, like, because when I saw it too, I was like, why Blake did a double axe handle like that was a bit of a strange choice of choreography. And why Adam was down and didn't just roll through it like he probably should have is fine. But in terms of Blake actually overcoming Adam in the situation, I thought it was completely fine.
She just caught him off guard. He just wasn't,
Yeah.
He was angry, he wasn't thinking right, and he just rushed through and just went up to him because she expected it. Yeah.
Now, another huge thing this episode was the clarification of Jean's semblance.
Yes.
Which is also on RWBY Rewind as well. Aura amplification.
Yes.
Which obviously a lot of people watched episode 12 and have gone, healing.
Yeah. Well, it is in a way healing, but it's more than that.
No, but that's the thing though. It's not, because like he said himself, and I'm glad that John was the one who said this in this episode. That it just, he uses his own aura, his exorbitant amount of aura, extra aura that he's always had. Pierre always mentioned, and that was a great callback to Volume 1.
Yes.
That he had, and this also justifies, because some people think healing was such an underwhelming for 5 volumes of build up.
Yeah.
Aura amplification has so much potential.
Yeah. Defensively,
offensively, healing. It is probably one of the best semblances we've seen, and that's why. And I think when you look at the potential, imagine how fast RWBY could go if her aura pool was amplified by Jean.
Yeah.
How much she could use her speed. Again, look at Weiss. She summoned something that she had never summoned before because she was so overpowered on aura.
Yeah.
That she was able to summon something she had never practiced before.
The lance.
That just proves how much. And which, again, that's such a cool moment that to me I didn't even question. Because again, I questioned back in episode 2 was she didn't kill the knight herself. her knight did, should that count for her being able to summon the Lancer?
Yeah, I still think so, but...
Well, obviously yes, though, because it happened. Yeah, and again, it was one of those things where it was like, the way they did it was so happy, because again, she didn't do it, she didn't summon it herself. She didn't just randomly summon this because, well, why not? It's because she was so overpowered and overcharged by Jean. You know, because again, she was healed completely fine, and she tried something, and she's like, maybe I can try this now, keep it up. And she was so overfueled and overpowered that she was able to summon it just like that without trying. And that's so cool. You know, you think to, and Arnold even tweeted about, you know, the potential, in that he was doing it jokingly, but the potential, what the next level that all these semblances can be with an overcharged aura. You know, it is really cool, the potential there. And really looking forward to seeing how this goes, how this develops. You know, is he going to now fall into deeper depression because he realizes he could have helped Pyrrha?
Well, he wasn't there. Like, he would have had to...
No, but I still think John would still blame himself.
He would, but... Yeah.
In a sense. Someone... Oh, I just had a thought. Now I've lost it. Damn, I've lost it.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I had something there.
Well, I was sort of talking about all this. Like, I don't... what was I going to say? I just love Nora in that where she said, you just be happy you unlocked your semblance when you did.
Oh, yeah. But I also love
calling him a dummy.
Like, no, thank you. You just remembered what I was going to say. The idea that, I wonder if it's really the idea of anyone's semblance could be, have no limit on what it can be. What if someone's semblance was literally just, I guess, a Deus Ex Machina, I guess. But, like, the idea of where your semblance can literally be anything, can potentially be anything, it just depends on what you need at the moment when you happen to unlock it. What if Jean's semblance could have been anything? What if it could have been polarity? It was just that he needed to heal someone. So he hadn't had his semblance yet, and that's just what developed. So he had that semblance. What if RWBY could have had anything, but in a moment where she needed to run away, she just happened to develop the light? Like, what if you aren't born of a semblance, you literally just get one if you don't have one, when you need one, and then that will be your semblance for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
What if your semblance can literally be anything? You're not born of a semblance and have to unlock it. What if you literally have potential to be anything?
Yeah.
But then you have semblances like Crow where it wouldn't make sense. So, maybe not. But maybe there's still something to that.
It's a thought to that. That makes sense. Like, Nora being struck by lightning, so it makes sense that she's able to survive that. But again, what if she wasn't born of that semblance? It was just in that moment. Survive that, she needed to develop a semblance to survive that. Yeah. You know? And Ren was like, he was so distraught that in that moment he had to get better, so he develops the semblance of masking emotions. Yeah. I don't know, it's a weird thing where you question, do you always have it but unlock it? Or do you literally just create it when it's needed? And then you keep that once you've created it. It's a thought. I like that thought.
But I love Nora. I don't need him to hurt. I just need him to go down and just smacks Hazel out of the building. That was awesome.
It was amazing.
Hazel, again, really like Hazel this episode still. Oh, excuse me.
Excuse you.
Had a lot to eat before the stream.
I'm trying to think what else to say, actually. I think we've covered a lot of it, haven't we?
There's still a lot. In that case, what the fuck happened to Raven to get portals?
Well, she builds a bond with people.
And maybe just in a moment...
she's able to teleport to them, so...
What if her semblance was created, it's like, oh, I love Ty so much, I really want to fuck him right now. And she has to build a portal to get to him. And that's just how she unlocked her semblance. Sorry guys, if any of you guys are underage. I don't think this is meant to be a PG stream, so I apologize. But what if again, it was something like that where she just needed to get to Ty for whatever reason, and so that's when that's how she developed. Oh, that's another thing too. I think someone mentioned why when Raven was swapping out her sword types, were there not a visible sign of dust change? Well, she has to. I imagine that it's still trigger activated. Yeah. Because it sort of has a trigger on it. Yeah. So she didn't really need to use the extra dust in her sword, so she was just putting a sword in to get more energy for it. But she wasn't necessarily using that energy. It was just kind of like Yeah, she could send an ice wave or a earth wave or a wind wave, but she has to use the trigger. In this case, with the main power, she didn't really need to. She just needed to keep recharging her sword, because the sword was probably like a bit more brittle, but the dust helps it kind of keep its strength. Like Cinder's glasses kept breaking. Maybe Raven
kept breaking too. Yeah.
Maybe Raven's could have broken too, but the layers of dust kept like preventing that.
Yeah.
So let's just run through it again in case there's anything we missed.
We'll start from the start first. So...
Yeah. So how did the episode start again?
So the episode.
It was different from the RWBY. It was different from the RWBY Rewind.
I'm trying to remember for a second. Oh, Yang and RWBY. So Yang and RWBY fighting against.
Yeah. I like the little like swapping oppositions.
Yes, swapping.
That was really cool. Mercury knocking the scythe out of the hand, like that whole moment was like, that was a cool character building moment. That was a cool progression moment. It wasn't exactly a great moment, really.
Just maybe to show off what she learned.
It was pretty. The whole thing was kind of a little ridiculous, but it was a good story moment.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You know, Mercury knocking the scythe out of her hand so easily, then just, gloating. But it was a good story.
What are you gonna do now? Ruby's like, hit that.
It was a good. But this also proves again why Cinder and Emerald, they're not trying to kill them. They're just trying to prevent them from getting to Cinder.
Yeah. And
that's kind of the whole. I just realized the one major thing we actually didn't talk about till now, so we'll get that in a second. But yeah, they're not willing to kill them. Really, they're just trying to stop them from getting to Cinder.
They're just trying to delay them.
And that also explains why when things kept distracting everyone, they weren't attacking, because they're not really interested in necessarily killing these people.
Nah.
Which I think that makes sense to me. I know some people will probably disagree with that, but I think that's fine.
And I would have liked to see more of Yang and Emerald fighting, but we didn't see any of that. They sort of disappeared.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with this whole sequence. It would have been cool if we got some Volume 3-esque paintings over all the fights. That, I think, would have helped these episodes a lot. But, whether or not, for whatever connection is, and Megalo just mentioned it there. God, guys, calm down. But yes, we did get the Blake and Yang moment this episode. As far as I'm concerned, let's just wait to see what else happens here, because that was nothing really to me.
I think it was a good call by RWBY there to say Yang go as well.
I know some people. I think some people have thought that was weird. But no, I love that moment.
RWBY saw the opportunity, so everyone is stunned right now. Go Yang opening.
And I like the little. And this is the thing too. I always thought about Blake and RWBY. I like the fact that their reunion was just kind of like a understanding between each other.
Yeah.
Because those two are the least personally connected to each other.
Yeah.
So they have this more mutual respect for each other, more than a kinship, which I really like that they showed that this episode. Where it was just kind of like, oh my god, you're back, but I understand you have to go deal with your stuff. Yeah. We're fine. You go do what you need to do. Well, again, if Yang or Weiss, because again, Weiss was in shock, just like Weiss and Yang had the same kind of reaction.
Yeah.
Whereas RWBY was one who was like, no, Yang, you need to go do what you need to do. Blake, I love you. You go finish what you need to do. We'll talk after this. Which again is a really cool thing. I just thought of now.
Yeah.
Again, shows RWBY's progression as a leader. That's a really good. That was really good. Progression as a leader.
Yep.
Yeah, guys. We're not. I don't think we're shippers here necessarily. I'm not necessarily. I love my Under the Schnee, Neptune's Weiss, and I'm a bit of a fan of Black Sun. But, I'm fully aware of the situation that, Blake and Yang are the most likely. And again, if it happens, awesome. But it's just one of the things where, again, I'm not going to sit here and speculate on it. That's just me. Blake's whatever was I saying?
I want more Renora moments.
More or less, because that's the most canon ship. I remember I saw someone post about this where it was like, Ren's just waiting for the right time. This isn't the right time to be your shippy lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
Because this is moments of war. This is a serious time.
Exactly.
Which I think what Arnold kept mentioning back in Volume 4, where it was like, who cares who's shipping who? This is not the time for this stuff.
Exactly. They've got too much going on at the moment.
Yeah. Miles, Carrie mentioned on RWBY Rewind, Neptune is here. He's alive. But it's just one of those situations where they didn't really think of anything good for him to do this volume, so they didn't want to just push him in there for the sake of putting him in there. They're just like, Neptune's here. He's still around. He's still doing his thing, but he's not going to add anything to the story right now.
Exactly. So, they've probably got other ideas for him later on.
Which sucks. But I can actually, I really, as looking at them as writers, I can really respect that mentality.
And I think it's the same with Neo, because I know everyone wanted Neo this volume, and
which is why I feel like we could get a very low key next volume where we can address all this kind of stuff.
Exactly, because they didn't actually confirm it'll be this volume. They just said that they hinted that she'll be back, but they didn't say when.
Kerry also mentioned too, and this is a big thing where, as a writer, he expects the audience to understand, which no one does apparently, things happen off screen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Kerry made that very clear that we know, and this is another thing too. Like, we know how aura works.
Yes. And
that's the thing too they want to address. Like, we know how aura. We're not retconning stuff. We're not changing how aura works. We know how aura works. We've always known how aura works. It's just that we haven't been too good at showing you guys that.
Yeah. And
doing it consistently. And you have to understand that things happen off screen. Gira's aura broke off screen between, where he got hit by the fireball. He still had aura.
Yeah.
And then, between the scene where he got stabbed, his aura broke at some point.
Yeah. Well, they've been fighting for a while, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And Kerry, that's like what Kerry said. Like,
Yeah.
Is it that hard to just understand that? But apparently it is. So Kerry's like, well, if you guys don't understand that, then fine. I'll make more of an effort going forward to write in moments where aura breaks then, because apparently you guys can't understand that bloody things happen on screen. I'm paraphrasing. Kerry was obviously a lot nicer than that.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen it yet. I only saw the little clip that was posted on Facebook. I got to go back and watch all the RWBY rewinds after Volume 5.
Yeah. They had Miles and Kerry. I'm curious what the hell they're going to have next. Who on next week then, after not having... I might have all for RWBY Girls. Maybe they're going to do another Always Open segment, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I need to get around to looking into the manga a bit more, because I'd love to see more of the stories.
There's an English version that's up for sale now too on Amazon. I was going to look at getting it, actually.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we finished actually talking about the episode so quickly, considering there was quite a fair bit to cover, but I can't really think wanted to say.
I mean, it was cool. It was really cool seeing Sun and Gira show up with all the armies, and Carla showing up. And Carla showing up with the police was an awesome logical touch to the situation, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I will say that it's a little strange that it doesn't bother me as much as I know it does others, but the small amount of White Fang that were there. But again, also this is another thing too. Adam and Hazel weren't aware of these plan changes.
No.
To them, it was going to be a simple, let's go to Haven and blow it up. Simple as that,
Yeah.
The plan was to them as well that this would already have happened already. They would already got the relic at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So and that's why their force is so small, because again, they just thought they was going to walk in, blow it up, be done.
Yeah.
So it just changes. I don't think the cliffhangers for the last two episodes have been bad.
No,
I don't think the Yang one. I think the Yang one, that wasn't a cliffhanger. That was just an ending. I thought that was fine.
Yeah, I just let me think. Oh, I can't wait to see what this.
I wouldn't call the Raven a cliffhanger. They answered the question. A cliffhanger would be if where's the power and the episode ends. That's a cliffhanger. To
me, they're doing left on an ending where it makes you really want to know what's going to happen next, but not in a bad way. So I wouldn't say it really is a cliffhanger. It's just made you all like, oh, I really can't wait to see this Cinder Raven fight off, for example.
Jean's semblance is his healing or aura amplification is his semblance. Chapter 8. What was chapter 8? Was that Gira? I don't think that I wouldn't call that.
Gira, yeah. I didn't like how they ended with
I don't know, I didn't mind that one. Weiss's one was I didn't mind Weiss's one in episode 11 because that was the first time we'd had a death cliffhanger. Chapter 10 was chapter 10 wasn't a cliffhanger. That was an ending. I mean, I guess if you look at what happened in episode 9, maybe chapter 8 was, I don't know. I'm very accepting of these kind of things. It takes a lot to piss me off when it comes to RWBY, so...
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm quite happy to accept that.
I was a little disappointed with chapter 9, but it made sense after seeing chapter 10, so...
Yeah. Which, again, is always my point, wait till you see what happens after things before you judge stuff. But that's just, that's my point of view. That you guys are obviously free to look at it however you want. So... They all showed up. Yeah, Ilya disarmed all the bombs, which is cool. Kind of makes the whole idea of them having less bombs would have made more sense at this point. Why have so many bombs and that if Ilya disarmed them all was a bit like, wow, Ilya, you're very talented. You're very quick and very stealthy, which I guess makes sense. But yeah, could have had less bombs there to make that bit more believable, I guess. I don't know. That's just me nitpicking. No, that's the thing. John can't use his semblance on himself.
No.
That's the one thing. He doesn't have a self-affecting semblance, which is very rare, I feel like.
Yeah, actually. Yeah,
Crow's like the only other one that isn't.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I don't know. I always thought Crow's didn't affect himself, but I guess he did break the table. But that affect himself was at the table that was.
I think it's just bad luck in a radius. So I think it can affect him.
Yeah, but he's a bad luck charm. The charm itself doesn't have bad luck. It just gives others bad luck. That's all. I don't know. Don't quite know the details on that. That didn't bother me too much. Blake getting there. The fact that everyone kept asking where the hell Blake was. I was like, it's not
on a boat.
God damn it! How times crack.
Hammer times crack was hilarious.
But like, yeah, like the idea of like, you know, everyone kept saying, "Where's Blake? Where's Blake? Where's Blake?" Yeah, she's on a boat. It's gonna take some time for her to show up. Like, she's not gonna get there quick.
They were 2 weeks behind too.
Yeah, I don't think the 2-week trip is that, because I don't know where Kukuana is on Menagerie. I still don't know where it actually is on Menagerie.
I think we saw it in
one of the World of Remnants. Fair,
yeah.
That boat could have had a really top high speed. To be fair,
possibly.
Remember when it was charging after the dragon?
It was, yeah.
It was going really fast.
It was going pretty fast, yeah.
So I don't think the 2 weeks is that. Again, I've made this point before. 8 weeks, 8 months walking is equivalent to like 2 weeks on a bike.
Yeah.
Like there's that much of a significant difference in traveling at 80 kilometers an hour first like 5 kilometers an hour walking, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think the them getting there by boat, seeing how fast that boat actually went at full speed, was unrealistic. And again, Menagerie, the Kukuana could have been like at the utmost corner of Menagerie, right, as close as possibly could be to Mystery.
We saw it. I'm pretty sure we saw it in World of Remnant. It was on the western side.
Was it really?
Mhm.
I'll have to look at that. I'm actually not sure.
Oh, that's where it appeared to be anyway. Yeah, because it was showing like the eastern side or desert, and the western side was this little. Yeah.
I always thought it was the eastern side, unless we're getting our east and wests mixed up. I don't know. Okay. So I think. Oh, and we get Hazel getting stabbed by the Lancer.
Yes, that was really cool.
Which is cool, because then the rest of the fight is like, obviously he wasn't in pain, but the rest of the fight he wasn't doing anything because he was literally physically
laying on the ground.
He was physically, like, he wasn't in pain, but he was physically disabled by that wound.
Yeah.
So that's why he wasn't fighting anymore.
Yeah.
Leo was all over the place. I'll admit that animators kind of didn't have his position consistent. If you go back and watch,
he was sort of seen to moving around in the background, just standing there.
I don't know. I don't understand why everyone has such a difficulty understanding the timeline. I didn't have thought the timeline was that confusing.
It was better than Volume 4, because Volume 4 was a bit hard to tell when things were happening.
Yeah, like at least they were mentioning times. They're mentioning times and stuff.
Yeah, Volume 5 was just Menagerie, so they were behind, and they confirmed it a couple of times too.
I don't think Cinder will return Grim, like full-on Grim. I don't think she'll ever get full Grim.
Full on Grim mode. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, Hazel could still do some damage. I don't know if Hazel's that in a position to do that much more fighting, to be fair. Yeah, I'm just curious at this point how Adam and Hazel are going to escape, or maybe, I don't know, maybe Blake and Yang, I don't know, Blake, I don't know. That's the thing, like, Yang still hasn't seen Adam. Yang still didn't see Adam.
Yeah, no, that's true. You know, she didn't, so that would be interesting if she does. I don't know, she'll keep her cool. But yeah, then again, Yang's down in the vault. So
well, that's a good point too. Like, we finally had that kind of moment of she learnt, where, you know, she didn't fight Mercury, she simply let her arm go and run off. And I was like, that was such a cool little thing. And then even
but now you're armless.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't think that's... But again, like, that's the thing too. I remember Miles mentioning, I think it was at RTX this past year in Austin, where he was like, he answered the question was like, was there ever a point of, are we not going to have Yang not have an arm at all? And he was like, yeah, but it's really hard to choreograph a fight with a one-armed person. And like, I'm wondering if maybe that was trying to hide the fact that, because I always thought it'd be better if Yang never got a replacement arm.
Yeah.
And she just did learn to fight with one arm. So yes, in the post-credit scene, that's a very good point. Actually, she could be a post-credit scene thing. Yeah, like you see her arm reach up and grab the ledge of the vault. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Dear.
People don't want John to die by fire. It's just that's the most storybook written logically, given his character. He would die by fire.
He just got his semblance. He's not gonna die.
Yeah, and also it's interesting too. People think Pyrrha died by fire to take that role from John. Because Pyrrha died by fire, Jean won't. Like, it was kind of like a symbolic thing of, that's why Pyrrha was burnt.
Yeah.
So that John wouldn't die by fire. Not obviously intentionally, but just as a story writing wise. Which I always thought that was really cool. They killed Pierre by fire because that's where everyone thought John would die from. So I was like, that. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, but screen to everyone else. I hope not. I hope the stream's going.
Yeah, I've had some issues with YouTube okay. Stream. It seems I've fiddled with the settings, so hopefully it's not as bad as usual. It hasn't seemed to stop completely, which is good.
But regardless, I think unless you guys have some questions to give us...
Any questions? I think we're at a standstill here.
Yeah, I think we've discussed most... Unless there's anything else we've missed, feel free to bring it up. I was going to say, I love Weiss just being full-on confident, strong again now that she was overcharged and stuff. And even John was, like, proud of her and stuff.
That little thing with John... when she came to... And, like, that's what's happening. I was like, oh, you took a heavy hit, you need to stay with me while the others fight. She's like, well, that's annoying. And
I love that. That's what shows, like, Weiss does want to fight. She does want to be a huntress. This isn't a question for her anymore. Like, she is a huntress. She wants to fight.
Yeah.
You know, she's not just some, girl who can fight. She actually wants to be fighting. And I like that. And again, it was my idea, too, I kept saying, where it was like, Weiss had the least reason of any of the 4 girls to be in this fight. But now she's been hurt and she even said this kind of makes me feel like, okay, she really does belong in this situation, or she does want to fight Salem and etc. But yeah, no, it was really cool. And again, I love seeing after she made the ice wall to stop Mercury and Cinder. And again, she was just like posing with the Lancer. It was just such a cool confident.
Yeah.
It's one of those things too where I would really like, is maybe she was I would like a scene where Blake and like Weiss are like talking about their similar wounds.
I've seen some.
It's just a cute little. Yeah, Mojo's done a lot of artworks about that. Like, it's just a cool little thing. Leo, I don't know. I feel like he hasn't
gonna get
been
killed most likely.
Yeah, I don't think this volume. I just don't think he's done enough.
Yeah. This
fight scene just for him to be killed, it'd feel a bit unnecessary. Maybe he'll go back to Salem with the rest of them, and then Salem will kill him. Then I think that'd be fine. But again, it just questions if he's going to go away. People keep also saying that Watts has something to do with the Grimm stuff, where I think Watts just deals with robotics. I think Salem is the one.
It wouldn't surprise me if he did deal with it, just because being with Salem. But
yeah, and people said he's like Frankenstein's Dr. Frankenstein or whatever, and it's like that all makes sense. But everything we've gotten from him is technology savvy.
Yeah.
Go back and fiddle with your machines. A lot of what. I don't know, like, everyone just assumes he also can do Grimm stuff. I don't know, I feel like that's Salem's domain.
Yeah.
Salem is the one who can craft Grimm limbs for people, whereas why they're both, I don't know, maybe it would make sense for Watts just... But then why do one or the other? Why have Grimm limbs? Why have robotic limbs? I think it would make more sense for Tyrion to get a Grimm limb, but from what we've seen so far, I imagine he's getting a robotic one.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess...
Yeah, I do think Watts... Penny's father, that might be connected. I do think that's an
Atlesian scientist, so very possible.
Yeah, and we do know that, like, by Pyrrha's standpoint, the whole aura thing was very, very inhumane. That's very, very wrong. So maybe Atlas Watts was the fall guy. Maybe everyone was like, well, if we're gonna get extradited for this, let's just go hide all this stuff over in Vale where it's actually being used, and and maybe James. Yeah, maybe James and Penny, and maybe, because assumingly it was Ironwood, Penny's father, and Watts that made Penny.
Yeah.
Maybe those two were just like, let's get this to Vale, and let's just blame it on Watts. And then the Atlas police just, like, oh, this is so morbid and humane, we're going to extradite you and send you away. I think that'd make sense to me. Yeah, I think at this point, I do think Leo's dying, but I just don't think he's going to die in this fight. I think he'll go back to Salem and Salem might kill him.
I'm going to see what happens, It all depends on what's going to happen in this chapter.
Yeah, I really don't know. We could probably get a big mother-daughter chat with Raven and Yang. Maybe get that all cleared up. Maybe finally get some answers from Raven.
Well, the thumbnail is both of them, so it looks like it's going to be carrying on from that.
With Raven, with quite the resting bitch face. Not as bad as the one when Summer was brought up. That was her worst resting bitch face.
Yeah, that was. You sound just like your mom.
That was the resting bitch face, but this one was a bit less so. Last song of RWBY Finals, the cover.
The roof is on fire. The roof is on fire.
The roof is on fire. Oh, my ear. Oh, wait, can't hear now.
Yep.
There you go.
I could be saying anything.
Oh, but I think, guys, we hit the hour mark, and I think we discussed a lot of the episode, and I'm tired, and I got a lot of stuff to do, and I got to work, and
I gotta continue my cosplay.
Yes.
Yes.
You're an accident.
Yeah, you're an accident. Get it? Oh no.
I don't know. It'd be cool if you also got some talk about Vanal as well. Maybe there's a daughter connection with Vanal. So that I wonder if has anyone ever thought of the idea of Vanal actually being like Yang's sister? Like what if Vanal actually was?
Maybe.
Yeah, half sister. I was just thinking that what if maybe if she was, she probably wouldn't have killed her if she was going to be a half sister.
My other thought I had as well, actually, I just remembered I was going to bring it up. Was maybe the Spring Maiden was Vanal's sister.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah, because at this point, the Spring Maiden wasn't Vanal or Raven. It was definitely someone else who went and died. It was someone
else, yeah.
But then I've heard a lot of people think too, and this makes sense apart from what the stuff Leo said, that what if Summer was the Spring Maiden?
Yeah.
Died, and that's why when Cinder said, "I bet that was a mistake," Raven reacted so aggressively. So that could be another thing too, where maybe Raven was very close to the previous Spring Maiden.
I don't think it was Summer only because of what we heard with the Spring Maiden running away as a girl 10 years ago, so it wouldn't fit with the timeline with Summer. It's a cool idea though, but yeah.
No, I don't think it was Summer, but I'm just saying
cool theory.
I'm saying there'd be I don't know, definitely Summer, but I'm saying
yeah.
But at this point, I think Summer has been accused of being every maiden except for the Four at this point.
Yeah.
Which, when you think about it, Four would actually make the most sense. What if Summer was the first potential, like before Pyrrha was? What if Summer was had that same role but denied it? Or maybe Raven had that role but denied it. And maybe that's what scared Raven off. Maybe Osmond was trying to get the maiden power onto Raven. Raven, that was the final straw. She said no. She left. And then I think there's music playing. I hope that can't be picked up too strongly.
I can't hear it.
Raven was probably a mother figure, and Vernal was probably the replacement daughter figure. Because again, I still think I don't think Raven's nearly as bad people point her out to be. I think Raven does care a lot about Yang, but just given the circumstances, she had to leave for whatever reason.
Yeah, she has her reasons.
And Vernal showed up, and Vernal kind of acted as a kind of replacement, I guess, not intentionally. Well, that's the thing. We don't know if the maidens are actually exclusive to the regions which the relics are in. I think, to be honest, the maidens can be anywhere in the world, not necessarily just... Yeah. So the Winter Maiden probably will be in Atlas, but I don't think she has to be in Atlas.
Exactly, yeah.
She could be in Vacuo, for all we know. Which would be cool if the last two maidens were swapped, and they were on the opposite thing. I theorized that maybe if Weiss wasn't healed, then that's how to get back to Atlas. And she'd have to get back to Atlas, and she'd be a coma for a volume or something.
I don't think Weiss's mum's the Winter Maiden, no.
No, at this point, I do want all the rest of the maidens, if we're going to see them, to be completely new characters.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that Vernal was something new, and I liked Vernal a lot as we got to know her more.
She was really
I don't mind the fact that Raven was this character. I mean, I guess technically Amber wasn't a character we knew, so I guess I shouldn't say that.
Well, we didn't really get to know Amber that much.
The point is, I don't want all the maidens to end up being all the characters that we know. I don't mind the fact, because again, Amber was a character we didn't know, then Cinder got it, that's fine. Vanilla was one the whole time, so that was a maiden we knew the whole time, so that's fine. Yep. But I do want the next two maidens to kind of be... Again, this whole thing, I don't want Yang to get the maiden power.
I don't but I can see
I don't really want anyone to get a maiden, just because I like... I mean, to be fair, Raven fights without a maiden power quite a lot, so obviously she still has her skill, but... I don't know. If they incorporate the maiden power, but Yang still fights the same way she does, just with more power...
Yeah.
They did kill a lot of characters off this volume, but I don't think it's necessarily no. Anime, no. I cannot get you that. I'm not that I'm not that creative as an artist. I apologize.
I think I've seen some art of that anyway, so just go look it up.
I can draw any character from the show, but I'm not going to draw something that hasn't actually been on screen, because I'm not that talented.
Now the stream's playing up now. We just went offline, back online.
Oh, God. Anyway, I think I gotta turn this up. I gotta open my windows because I'm suffocating right now.
Are you? It's not too hot here, which is good. It's cooled down.
We're in a heat wave right now.
Yeah, well, I live in Tasmania, so it was freaking cold here. Except it was 30 degrees yesterday morning.
Did you see that thing that I posted on Discord? It was like from The Last Jedi. And it was, I don't know if I posted it or not, but it was like, It's like, so who? It's like, who are you, girl? It's like, I'm Ray. Where are you from? It's like, nowhere. Everyone's from somewhere. I'm from Tasmania. Okay, yeah, that's basically nowhere.
Yeah, I saw that.
Spoiler for Last Jedi.
Not really. But...
Kind of. Not really. Anyway, unless Larissa has anything else to say, I'm good to call it crits for this week as we hype up for the finale and, of course, our last of the season,
yes.
Corner of Remnant, before stuff. I doubt we'll do a chibi ones.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, maybe every 5 weeks I might do a little wrap up, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we could. That would be good. Yeah, we'll think about
If anything, just to talk about the new series or new stuff, any new news that comes out, you might just do a smaller.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Anime, stop talking about my fan. I am a fan of my fan, and I like my fan. Do not dare disrupt my fan. Anyway.
So make sure you join my Discord as well. I'll pop the link in the chat. It's in the description too. Yeah, so we chat all about RWBY and everything in there, which is good. Dawn's links all in the description as well. DeviantArt, Redouble, everything.
DeviantArt, Twitter especially, two very good places to go if you ever want to know what I'm up to or what art I'm doing, or if you're interested in getting your own art, maybe if you're going to RTX Sydney or stuff like that, make sure to...
Yes, we're both going to RTX Sydney too, so let us know
if so if anyone is going to RTX Sydney, to see both of us, we'll probably do a meet and greet at some day with Beck, with She-Noob as well.
Yes, She-Noob's going to.
I have a lot of... I'll have artworks to give a lot of people, and a lot of other stuff just to give anyone else who wants something, but you can order stuff if you'd like.
Yeah.
Just get some personalised stuff. Yeah, but I think that's about it, actually.
It is. Well, thank you everyone for watching and joining in. We hope you all enjoy the finale tomorrow, or for those who watch it in a few days' time. It's going to be amazing. Make sure to check out all the reactions going up as well. And we'll see you all next week to discuss the finale.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Oh yeah. Also, don't forget to check out my new artwork. It was a digital piece. My first digital piece.
The new artwork is
Anyway, okay guys. Sorry for the plug. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.